All right, it's your girl Joy Nichelle Randall, and I am getting ready to share a little something with you. Gonna go through my everyday makeup routine. Well, actually, not every day because I very rarely wear it anymore because I don't really have anything going on. So this is a little practice round. Um, been doing our self care. And I used to be a makeup artist for 12 plus years. Have always taught from the standpoint of why we're actually doing something and not the brands that we're using. I always enjoyed teaching makeup. So, anywho, we're just going to go at it. I'm just going to share my own little tips and Joy taught me, you know, my personal routine. I'm going to use my same old dirty makeup brushes that I have. I'll show you later how to actually cleanse your brushes properly. These are not cleansed, okay? Just to show you that makeup artists do real things, all right? So these are the three brushes that I use every single application, okay? It's not difficult. Again, a lot of brands definitely and a lot of artists that are online and on YouTube tend to just have a plethora. I call them like makeup junkies or product junkies. And so have a plethora of different brushes that they use, but I'm just going to get mine done with three. Okay? So I tend to focus on and really highlight what I call a signature look. This is a look that you can master no matter where you're going, what you're doing. You can accomplish this look because it's more about the way that you apply it, executing it well. And once you have really mastered your own face shape and your application techniques, and really the textures of products that you need to use, you can always change brands, change colors, all of that. But with this, and so you can incorporate the trends into what you're doing on a regular basis. But this is a look that really coins you. Like I always say, Rihanna had a signature look. When she cut her hair off a long time ago and went with that bold, one-sided haircut that became a signature look. People like Karl Lagerfeld when he was only wearing that black and white uniform. Oprah. Different people have signature looks. Things will fluctuate over time, but it's a look that everybody knows whenever they see you. It becomes, oh, that's Joy who wears the red lipstick. Oh, that's Joy with the locks. I used to have locks all the way down my back. And so, it becomes a look that it's your signature. It's part of just who you are. And when you show up, they know that it's you by those one signature thing that you have going on with your face. And in this day and time, when we all have a Facebook profile, we all have Instagram, I think it's really important to be in person who you are online. And so, again, if you're that person who always has on a red lip, or you have on, you do a nice cat eye with every makeup application that you do, it starts to really, again, become a signature and something that identifies you a lot more. Okay? So, I'm going to get started. The first product that I am using, and of course, we're going to cleanse and moisturize well before we get started. The base of great makeup is great skin, right? So that starts from the internal to the external. That is why beauty for me is such a whole full circle experience, because you cannot talk about makeup without talking about skin. You cannot talk about skin without talking about health. And you cannot talk about health without talking about emotions. So it really is a full circle experience. And I keep going back to that. So, Becca. I honestly don't even know if they're still making this one, but this is my personal favorite. This is their Ultimate Coverage Concealing Cream. Okay. This particular shade is Chestnut. So I am a brown girl. I used to call myself a brown girl specialist. Yeah. So I'm taking this brush. See the way that it's shaped. You always want to choose a brush that literally fits into the area that you're trying to work with. I'm not going to use this brush because it's so much bigger, right, to work with. I'm going to use a nice kind of pointed brush. So the first thing that I am going to do is get my, what I call the mask of light going, okay? And all I'm really doing is putting the right tones in the right places, okay? I always say that you cannot, every woman has different tones going on throughout her body and throughout her face, right? We have an undertone. If you see, I am a brown woman, but what's under here is very yellow, okay? My mama light skin, okay? And you see this area here, you can see the yellow that's coming through my skin. And also, as the seasons start to change, we all tend to lighten up. So you'll see more of that undertone start to come out in your skin. So don't be surprised if you have to change your foundation according to the seasons. And it just depends on how much you darken up and lighten up yourself. Okay. Notice also that I am really pressing. Okay. You don't see me wiping it. I'm actually pressing. And see how I'm literally filling in kind of the darkness that is there. If you have under eye circles, okay, you have a lot of darkness under the eye. This area is related directly to the kidneys, okay? I have a face map on my Just Joy Randall page where it shows you exactly how what's going on in the face correlates to the body. Like I said in the beginning, it's all connected. You can't get away from it, folks. So drinking your water, all these things will ultimately help beauty. Really can't separate it, okay? So if you notice, all that I am really doing, and the way that you're going to choose this shade for yourself, again, is understanding what your undertone is. Once we have this color pretty much chosen, you're going to go about one shade lighter. Again, a lot of makeup artists are going to tell you go 2 or 3 shades, take 3 or 4, highlight, contour. I try to make that pretty easy for you. All you really need is 2. And you definitely do need 2 because, again, you can see that I have different tones going on throughout my face, and all of us do. I don't care what age range I was working with. I always did this technique, okay? So, got this filled in right up under the eye, and see how, because of the shape of this brush, see how close up to the eye I can really get, okay? It's perfectly designed for me to get right where I need to go. And so it's also designed, a nice kind of pointed tip that I have for this brush allows me to make one straight line down the middle of the nose, okay? We call that lifting the nose. That way, again, we start to get rid of all this stuff that with highlighting and contouring. I'm going to make it really easy for you. One line, okay? And it automatically brings a lift to my nose, okay? Then I am going to make a T for my T-zone, okay? The face is already curved, right? So we're going to add structure to it. That's basically what we're doing. So you see that I'm kind of able to make a line here on top of the brows. I'm basically creating the structure for my brow when I fill it in later. Okay? So we have the T, okay? And then we have where I filled in under the eyes, okay? And so all of that together is the mask of light. See that I don't have any blank spots here. There's no big opening, okay? I'm literally creating a little mask. See that? Okay. And so from this point is where I'm going to fill in, add coverage. You know, I've been really working on my skin, trying to get it nice and even, eating well, taking my supplements, doing everything that I possibly can. But that's what makeup is for, right? So that we can literally become flawless. When I owned, was a makeup artist for 12 plus years, I worked under my own brand. And the name of that business is Flawless Makeup Art. I'm not currently providing makeup services that way. Of course I can, but just my lifestyle and things have changed. Now I'm here caretaking for my father. So we are in the library of Joy University. Things are shifting and changing, and that's just sometimes what we got to do, right? So it's all good. I'm actually really loving my life here. So, okay, next step. First, let me show you the products that I'm using. Okay, so I'm using Cover FX, which is one of my absolute favorite brands. This company really focuses on the health of the skin. And this is called a custom cover drops. And so you can literally take these drops and drop them into any moisturizer, primer that you have, something that works well for your skin. Works well for your skin. And I've been using that for quite some time, and I really, really, really love those. I also use their natural finish foundation. Again, I have a few different tones going on throughout my skin, even though I am just nice and cocoa brown. So I like to mix. That's what makeup artists do. We mix in the tones to find the perfect shade. Some people may be blessed to have just kind of a nice, even, complete tone. It's not the case for me, so I have to kind of customize mine. So this one has just enough yellow undertone, and then the custom cover drops really add in the redness that I need for my skin. And so I just placed a little bit on my little palette here. It's a palette now. This is actually a product that I'll use later by Mally Beauty. Okay. Again, now I'm using a brush that's more suited for all the area in the face that I want to find coverage for. Okay. And again, if I want coverage in an area, I'm going to press. Okay. And see how yellow it is. That's why we're adding in that redness. A lot of brown women, and I was a person who would do this myself at certain points in my life. You know, if you're a dark-skinned woman and you automatically go to the end of that line and you choose the darkest one, and that was going to be your color, right? That was going to be your shade. But we really are so multifaceted. We have different tones, like I said, going on throughout the skin. Just because you're brown doesn't mean that your undertone might not be a little more yellow or red. So be conscious of that. See the difference there when I add in the redness that is naturally in my skin. And you want it to really flow into the neckline, okay? You don't want to see any big differences and demarcations there. We build coverage. I'm not big on absolutely having to cover every single spot that's on my face. I just want a nice, even complexion, and so I do think that helps to keep everything natural. Okay. And so you don't see me going right in and taking out the dimension that I created under my eye. I am kind of just meeting it and blending it right where it is. You also don't see me taking it out with the middle of the nose there. See, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. And always, always, always make sure that you are checking the way your makeup looks outside, okay? In natural light as much as possible. Now, this is not natural light. This is just for my little video here. And matter of fact, look at multiple lighting situations. Look in your bathroom. A lot of people make the mistake of doing their makeup in their bathroom where the lighting is one particular way there. And that may not necessarily be the way that people are going to be looking at you in public. So just make sure that you're always checking. Lord knows we all have phones. We all are taking photos all the time. So just be conscious of the way your makeup is photographing. I think products have come a long way since we started doing that a lot more. But again, that's a lot of that has to do with the type of product that you're choosing, the shades that you're choosing, the textures that you're choosing. A few things go into makeup, not just the application. So that's the beauty too of having that signature look, because you don't always have to just buy every new product that comes out, or you find a staple group of products that work really, really well for you. And even if that product gets discontinued, you can find something that really works that's very similar to what you had. You don't have to worry so much about just starting over and having to find a whole new line. You know what works for you. It's signature. Okay, I have a few spots down here. So I do get a little coverage there as well. Okay. And I tend to recommend too, like the swirling technique. When you want blending, you want to kind of swirl. Okay. When you want coverage, you want to press in and you want to pat. And so what happens too is now that I have this nice even tone, if I want more coverage in certain areas, all I have to do is take a little product and just add a little more here, add a little more there. And that keeps everything really nice and natural looking. Okay? And so, since I have, again, so flawlessly created this dimension that we have here, I do have 2 powders in addition to 2 shades of foundation that I use, okay, or different tones. There's so much that I can share. Please, please ask me questions. Um, but in terms of the difference between like concealer and foundation, it's really more about texture. You can use it's about application. Concealers are just very concentrated forms of like foundation in a jar. Okay, so sometimes if price is something that really affects your buying decisions, then you can buy 2 concealers. Concealers are going to be cheaper than your foundations. And you would just have to be a lot more careful with the way that you're applying it to get that right tone over the face. Okay. So this is also Becca, and this is their perfect multitasking perfecting powder. Okay. Again, it's about a shade. It's focused right here on my undertone, right? Not the tone that's around the rest of my face. And so I'm just, anytime you have something creamy, liquidy, what you want to do is set it with powder. Again, I don't do all the baking and all this stuff. This is as close as it gets. You see the sponge that I'm using, super old. But you see how, again, it goes right into the area that I'm working with. And yes, I'm putting that powder everywhere that I put my mask of light. Okay. You see, I think you can see how I just really smooth that texture and set it in place. Okay. And then I'm going to take my trusty, dusty MAC Studio Fix powder. Just about every girl out there is familiar with this product. I have what they call a kabuki brush because it's nice and dense and full. Okay. Powder always uses natural hair bristles. Powder, natural. Powder, natural. The creamy and liquidy products that I use were synthetic brushes. Okay? Synthetic is always for liquid and cream. And so, again, you see the tone that I'm working with, more about the outside. I call this our perimeter color. Okay? When I used to do my makeup lessons, I would do product recommendations at the end. And I would always write down these tones for people. The perimeter color and your T-zone color. Literally, look at the 2 sides of my face, right? You can see the difference. This is why we don't use one tone all over the face, because normally you either have to choose this one or this one. And everyone really has 2 different tones going on. So you see me literally putting that in the perimeter just like I did with the rest of the foundation. Are we loving it? I love it. And normally I can literally do this makeup in 5 minutes because I'm so used to the way that I apply it. It's not just because I'm a professional makeup artist, but because I'm so used to my own face that I know exactly how to apply it, where to apply it, what colors go where. So that's another thing about a signature look. It's about your career. It's about your lifestyle. You know, like if you have a business meeting or, you know, you want to be able to get your look together quickly. And you want to, again, you don't want to be carrying a whole makeup kit with 1,000 brushes that go with it. You want your quick, simple, let's get it popping. And you want to have something that you can do and do well and, you know, just get your look together. Again, you taking photos, you want to be fabulous. Now, this product is broke all the way up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I love it. This is by K Cosmetics. Hope you can see that. And it's 24 karat gold. I can't even really show it to you because it's so broken. I don't know if you can see that, but it still works. And if I really wanted to put it back together, I could literally just put alcohol into this whole thing and let it dry, and all that product will come back together. But I'm just too lazy to do that. Okay, so here's that third brush that I was showing you. All that I do is highlight. I used to be a big blush wearer, which I still love blush. It's my favorite thing to do on other people. But on myself, here we go. So I just want it right here on the highlight of my cheekbone. Just to see how perfectly the area is for the brush that I'm using. Okay, such an important factor. Now, sometimes I want it to be a little more intense than others. Sometimes I really just want a nice little lift. Okay, take a little bit down the middle of that nose there. And I'm also going to take a little bit on my finger and do the inner corners of my eyes. Now, I will always say that gold is safe for everyone, okay? Nobody looks bad in gold, anything. But there's so many different types of highlighters that you can use. Some with like purple undertone, pink undertone. Just depends on what you like, okay? So now we're going to go to my Anastasia Brow Pencil. This is the brow wiz. It's a skinny one, okay? They have about two, I think. One is a lot thicker. And for my little teeny brows, these work really well. So you see this brush on the end. We always brush the hairs straight up. Okay? Now, brows are your deal breaker. They really are. So we're going to do this together. Okay? So you see I've already set the structure and the tone. I'm going to come back. Remember, our brows are sisters. They're not twins. Now, what you don't see me doing is going directly into the brow exactly the way that it is. You see me giving a little extra. You create the brows that you want. You also don't see me, I'm not really doing them this way, okay? They're two straight lines, okay, that come to a point. So you see me making one diagonal line here, and doing them simultaneously helps me keep them even. Okay? See that? A little extra room. See that? And I ain't gonna lie, I get a little lazy with this side because my hair will cover it. So again, if I'm in a rush, see where my natural brow is? and see the little extra room that I've given myself. Okay, so I'm going to create the structure first. That's the top. I'm coming in on the bottom. Same way. Straight line right up to where that arch is. And then another line. Okay. And then after I've created that structure, I'm going to make these little strokes that look like hair. Nothing worse than a thick, heavy makeup brow that just looks like a bunch of makeup and not hair. To me, anyway. And again, I'm taking my time and showing you now. This is a little, let's say, pointier than I want, right? It goes back with the same brush. I don't add anything to it. And I can literally just kind of smooth that over. See? Soften it. I can also take this brush and distribute that color through a little bit more. Okay. Now again, okay. And after this, we do a little mascara. And that's really it, y'all. See how I go down on top of the lashes first. Roll that mascara. I can cleanse any powder that's in my lashes off. Then we go up. And this is They're Real by Benefit. Can also do the little jiggle. Okay. And I love that this one has that little ball on the end too, that you can really get in there and separate them. And on the bottom, just drag across. Once that dries down a bit, I can literally come back and add another little coat to the tips. Now, a little gloss. NYX, gonna play $5. Natural Boom. Bam. Every day. That's it. That's it. Completely effortless look. And so, yeah. And even from here, if I wanted to, I could add a little shadow. I could do a cat eye. There's so many other things that I can do with this look. But this is it, dude. Like, signature look. Boom. Bam. So we got. So I hope this is helpful. Feel free to leave me any comments, questions that you have. Yeah. So that is a signature look by your girl Joy Nichelle Randall. And this is Joy Taught Me.